Good morning, everyone. This is Jeffy Kennedy, also writing as Jennifer K. Lambert, author of epic fantasy romance, and I'm here with my first cup of coffee. Delicious. Today is Monday, May 12th, 5/12/25, and I am back in the saddle here. Um, and I believe that I will be sort of getting back into the work routine, doing all the things. If you're on video, you can see the glorious redone office. I'm so happy. I know I keep burbling about it, but it's just the best thing to have. I just cannot believe what a huge difference it has made to have this done. Uh, yeah, so it was amazing. There were a lot of things on my list I never got to during my hiatus, considering how long of a hiatus it was. But so life goes, right? I think I have to realize that my lists are always way longer than uh, what that is reasonable for any one human to accomplish. I don't know. So, and I'm back from my trip. Uh, as was easily predictable, I did not do any podcasts while I was visiting people. It's it's like just not on my mind, which I think is probably the point of a vacation. Uh, I at one point found my camera, which I did take with me, the webcam that I use for this, and I went, "Oh, yeah, I was thinking about doing podcasts, wasn't I?" But that was like about the only time the thought crossed my mind. So, if you are on video, you will see I have a new cup. I got this in Toronto. Uh, the delightful Kelly Robson is the perfect hostess and tour guide, and she took me to the gallery. Let's see, it's the Art Gallery of Ontario. I think that's right. I might have it backwards. Gallery of Ontario. I think it was OAG. Anyway, which is only like a block from their house. And in this case, gallery means museum. But she was teaching me about the seven masters. And this one is, I'm having to look at the bottom, Macintosh. But this, if you're not on video, I will describe. It's a very moody landscape of a lake, I assume Lake Ontario, with trees, and it's all in these very gray greens with a hint of blue in the sky. It's kind of half stormy. It's the storm breaking up, is what it says to me. And so, yeah, museum mugs, they're expensive, although Kelly was like, remember the exchange rate you're making, it's not as much as that. Uh, but I decided to have this as a souvenir. I got a number of souvenirs, and so that was fun. I got a very beautiful wine glass with hummingbirds on it, and a couple of pieces of art, which I have added to already to the stuff hanging up. I think I've mentioned before that I like to rotate through the art, so now I've got a lot of new art hanging up. I was talking with someone who was asking me questions about writing and creating the other day, and asked me if the art that I like to hang up and redistribute, if that feeds into my work. And I'm a big believer in that. I really do think that what we put into our senses comes out in the creativity, and that's part of aggressively refilling the well, right? So yeah, I got to go to. We went to Niagara Falls. I got to see a different side of Niagara Falls than I'd seen before. Not just the Canadian side, but the because I'd actually gone briefly to the Canadian side before, but the way that Kelly takes guests in, because she's so thoughtful about how she does things, you come in from upriver and you see the vast current. You see the river before it hits the falls, and it was there is this point where the river pours over the edge of the falls, and it takes on this color that's like a glass green, but it is a color that I've never seen in nature. It was, or anywhere. I guess I have seen it in nature. It was unlike any color I've ever seen before, and I kept trying to get it with my phone camera, and I don't think I succeeded. Excuse me. So I came back with a little bit of a cough. Um, so I just looked at the picture, and actually, I think I came pretty close to capturing it, and I may just use that as the photo for the show today. I have so many potential photos to show you all. So let's see what else. It was just we went to wineries. We had long lunches with wine, which is one of our favorite things to do, and wide-ranging conversations. And it was yeah, it was delightful. Uh, the second part of the trip ended up getting cut short because Susan Lee ended up not being able to meet me in Chicago. She canceled, and so I ended up coming back a couple days early, which was disappointing, but is what it is. So, yeah, tried extending the trip. I was able to extend the trip by one day with Kelly and Alex, her wife, but I couldn't do more than that because of lodging constraints. So it goes. So now I'm back. I am slated to get my edit letter on the A Rose in the Mirror, the Rose's sequel. So we'll see what that's like. It's supposed to come in on the 15th, and I'm going to probably work on the secret project until then, just to start ramping up, getting back into my flow. One thing I want to share with you all. Oh, I guess I haven't talked about the love and romance in Toronto. It was fine. It was very nice. I should say that I had zero trouble going across the border, either direction, and I didn't see any trouble either. It was very civilized. I did hear that a vendor coming from the U.S. into Canada got turned back at the border. She was driving up, and of course, this is like third-hand information, because she didn't have the proper receipts for the merchandise that she was selling, and they wouldn't let her in because of that. Uh, but otherwise, it was just super easy both directions. So whatever you take away from that, for me it was. But I did not take books to sell at the conference because I didn't want to try shipping them to Canada. It was I had a whole lot of books that people pre-ordered, so I brought those with me and used those for display, and then encouraged people to buy books from me online. And if you did talk to me there, we'll work it out. We'll get books to you. Uh, People were disappointed that I did not have books to sell. Excuse me. But also very understanding. So it was great. I still think a 5 hour signing is too long, and really the last hour I was very dead. But it was their first year doing this, and so they couldn't know. And I got to sit next to CM Nescosta, who is just always a kick to talk to. So all around, it was very fun. And then Kelly came and picked me up, and I had a lovely few days with my friends and got to experience downtown Toronto in a way I had not before. So, let's see, I was leading into something else with that, wasn't I? Oh, I wanted to tell you all about Love LitCon. And that is coming up next February. So we're planning ahead here. But let's see. There's like all kinds of noise outside. I believe the truck has moved on. It was some sort of semi that was like backing up repeatedly. Beep, 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 beep. They're gone now. Aren't we relieved? Okay, so Love LitCon is going to be in San Diego at a beautiful resort on the harbor in San Diego. It's an amazing location, and it's over the weekend in February 13th through 15th. You can reserve the hotel. I went ahead and did the max dates I could because they got a great conference rate. I reserved it from the 9th to the 18th. I probably won't stay there that long, though it's tempting. I love San Diego. It's one of my favorite places. Anyway, this is a first time conference too, but they are uber organized. They are really putting a lot of effort into this, and they are offering us promo codes. So if you want to buy tickets for Love LitCon, February 2026, maybe you're a planner. I think you'll probably, uh, I think it'll sell out. So I guess we have to plan for these things. It is my specific author promo code is love, LOVE, and they have it all caps. So just in case, 8368. So if you use that code, LOVE 8368, you get a discount. And I don't know how much. Oh, it gives you $10 off. Well, $10 you could spend. That's a whole book, right? So yeah, feel free to use that. Remember, it's specific to me. Apparently, I get certain perks if I get my readers to come, but don't feel any onus. But hey, $10 off is cool. And yeah, let's go hang in San Diego. That'll be fun, right? So let's see, what else do I have to tell you? If you're like me, you're eagerly anticipating the first episode, or actually, it's like the first two episodes of Murderbot on Friday. I'll probably be burbling more about that on Friday. Can't wait to watch it. The trailer looks amazing. They actually have clips of, I'm not going to be able to think of the name of it, the favorite show that Murderbot watches. And I love that that's in there too. And let's see what else. I had something else in mind just now that I was going to talk about. Um, it's been interesting doing this hiatus from writing, and I'm not feeling the itch. I thought that by now I would really be feeling the itch and the need to get back to it. So clearly, this was a break that I needed. I am looking forward to doing some writing this morning and easing back into it. Um, I'm trying to think of how I've felt before, but always it was a non-deliberate hiatus, right? It was like the last time I haven't written for this long and it wasn't solid was July of 2019 when I was just traveling that whole month. I was in Ireland for 2 weeks for Worldcon, and I was in New York City for a week for RWA, and I just decided I wasn't gonna worry about trying to write while I was doing all of that. But I had pressing projects. I had pending things I had to do. And before that, it was always this feeling of that time was slipping away. And this is like 15 years ago, right? Where it was like, it was taking me forever to get my career to where I wanted it to be. And I decided that, I wasn't writing as much as I needed to. I still had the day job. And so I would very often feel that frustration, that makes, my favorite quote, which I know I cite often, but and I'll just paraphrase today, since I do cite it so often, you can find it on the blog. well, stop to look it up to get it exactly, but that in each of us there is an upwelling, that there is this spring of creativity or whatever you want to call it, and that if we don't cut a channel for it, it turns the ground around it into a swamp. And that was definitely how I felt for a very long time when I could not get the writing going at the level that I wanted to get it going. And I remember writing a blog post after we moved to Santa Fe, which was August of 2009. And I titled it something like, that we'd moved and where had I packed my writing career. Because at that point, I made a very deliberate decision to, it's like, okay, we've moved, we've started a new life, and you've got to make this writing thing happen. No more dabbling, no more being a dilettante. One of my writing teachers said that my writing had a dilettantish feel, which has always stuck with me. And when I mentioned it to her later, she questioned whether she had really said that, but she actually wrote it down. Dilettantish. So I think that the difference this time is that I do have that channel cut, and that I made a deliberate decision to, that I know I'm going to be coming back to it and that it will all be okay. I asked Kelly a question during one of our touring about drives, and I wanted her feedback on this, that I told her that I was feeling like I couldn't tell what it was, that I was feeling like I was maybe emotionally numb, or that I wasn't really feeling very emotional. And I was wondering if there was like something wrong with me. And she asked me a bunch of questions. She's very insightful that way. And we kind of came to the conclusion that maybe I was just not feeling stressed, and that this is what not feeling stressed feels like, which it's maybe been so long that I forgot. It's coming up on a year since I resigned as SIFWA president, and that has been an amazing load off. Getting this book deal has relieved so much of the financial pressure. Maybe it's just feeling restful. So, because I still have lots of good emotions. I'm just not feeling some of the extremes that I used to feel, and we kind of decided that it was okay. And this is why we go and spend time with good friends to figure these things out. I think I told you all, if the casita is officially finished, I'm meeting with the blinds person this morning to get that going and start furnishing it. Then we'll see. Mom, whenever you decide you want to come visit, any day now. So, all right, well, here we are back in the groove. I hope you all are having a productive spring, and I will talk to you all on Friday. You all take care. Bye-bye.